It's a Grizzly.
Should we get out of here?
No, we're gonna watch and listen.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition with Grizzlies on the Hunt. We got Lala and Bob with us today, ladies and gentlemen. How's everybody doing? So, yeah. Hey, Crazy Witch, Denise, Liana King, how you doing? And Crazy Witch is coming up in the rear, and we got Tess H. So, how y'all doing this evening, ladies and gentlemen? How you doing, Bob and Lala?
Great. Good. This is exciting. Thank you.
Yeah, glad to have you. Hello, Lucy. Welcome to the show, everybody. So, yeah. So, what is, how are y'all doing, and how was y'all's weekend and everything?
It was great. I'm now working every weekend at like a little, it's a farm, but they have a festival there every day.
Petting zoo and rides and this stuff. And
so
she's doing face painting. She's doing great.
Wow.
Relaxing for hours.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I like that. That's interesting. I like face paint. I can never get enough of it.
It's therapeutic. Some kids fall asleep when I do it. Some giggle because it tickles. It's just cute, you know.
Yeah. So everybody that doesn't know you guys, introduce yourselves and tell them all about you guys.
Go ahead. Go for it.
I am a psychic medium. I speak to people that have passed, and I speak to aliens, all types of beings. I was always like this. My dad was like, he was a Reiki healer. He called it healing of the hands, though. And he tried to teach me a lot, and I hid it for most of my life. I'm 41 now, and a couple years ago, I lost my parents and my then boyfriend of 15 years. And I really didn't have anybody to help me get through it. And it was really hard. And I decided to stop hiding who I was so that I could help people who were hurting like me so they wouldn't hurt anymore. And so I found Bob accidentally online. And I read for him. And he's ex-intelligence, he's a scientist, and he was impressed. So he tested me to make sure I was real. Right. And we became friends. We started a business. I do readings now, and we get videos and pictures of all types of interesting, passed over people, crafts, aliens, interdimensional, crypto. I mean, it's like a zoo in our backyard.
Here's how she introduces herself on Facebook. She's an artist, experiencer, contactee, abductee, medium, remote viewer, starseed, and a future ghost.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Is that not a bottle of salsa in a container? Yes.
Hey, Barb, good to see your face.
So yes.
Hey, Barb.
Yeah,
let's see. I was born in Tennessee when I was 1 year old, moved to Alabama. I had 3 near-death experiences from meningitis. Doctor told my parents I would be a vegetable or die, and I didn't do either. So when I was 3 years old, I woke up one day and suddenly saw miraculously I had learned how to read like I was in late grammar school. And that went on for a few years. And when I was 10, I got into every kind of technical thing you can imagine at a really high level. And so technology and the geekdom was my life since 1964. So I went on and went to college, had an hour and a half of missing time coming home one weekend from college. And within a week, I had changed my major, my school, and became a mathematician and an engineer with a concentration in physics. But I was still a geek, but I wasn't going to be a medical doctor anymore. I was going to be a technical geek. So I went to college, got out, worked for San Diego National Labs for a year, got out because I saw nobody but PhDs got any respect. So I got a doctorate in applied mathematics. Then I worked for the intelligence community or the Department of Defense for 30 years, 27 of them for the intelligence community.
Wow. That's incredible. That is incredible. So you have pretty much, there's that energy again in the studio.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? We were just talking about this, ladies and gentlemen, right before the show, and I do not get it. You know, I mean, I've done everything, and when I feel it behind my head, and it's like static electricity, and it's just like.
And with us, we would need to point out that right in here, right over here near her head, you're going to be able to see with almost surely an orb or two fly through in the middle of the podcast.
If we see him, we always go like, this is
yes. This is our signal from all three of us that there's an orb up in front of us. It happens every time.
Yeah, it really does, ladies and gentlemen. And you will, there it goes again.
Wow.
I don't know. It does a lot. I don't know. It's with you all. So I don't know if it's like Jackie, like loves your all's energy or something.
No.
I just really don't understand it. But
her crown chakra and her third eye beam like a Klieg light.
Well, our orbs like when we're on this show too.
Oh yeah, they like it on this show.
So it's very interesting. But ladies and gentlemen, you actually, and this is the show, and I felt it coming. This is the show where you actually will see fairies fly around.
Oh yeah.
Am I going to be able to talk, Jackie, or are you just going to take over the show? If you want to take over the show, here's the headset. You know, go ahead. All right. So, but yeah, there goes your all's camera. I was about to say, well, Kyle, here we go. It's going to be an interesting show. We start losing camera feeds now.
So, sometime you should try the app Snapchat and do the friend one. So it's your face that does a filter. And it does the face. If there's another face, it'll pick up on a spirit. So you can video that.
I will pass out.
It's not Snapchat, it's TikTok.
No, Snapchat does it.
Oh, does it? Okay, both of them. Yeah, it's a machine learning artificial intelligence app, and it picks up weirdness around you and makes a picture of it near you.
It picked up my dad.
Oh, just what I need to know.
Yeah, it picked up my dad on Valentine's Day, and it was his face behind the little doggy ears. It really was.
Wow. So the other night, I snuck out like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Listen to me, I snuck out. Sound like I'm a teenager. Anyways, I went out to the yard or to the driveway. The driveway's pretty long to the road, and to take out trash. I knew it was coming. I just felt it. And I mean, I don't know what it is with you guys, but it's like, okay, you can disappear and see. Anyways, and I was taking out trash and I heard birds, and I'm like, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. Like, there ain't no birds out. And it was like one across in the woods and one behind the house in the woods. I'm like, yeah, that's not birds. And so what are we gonna do, Jackie? I guess I need to give my EMF. I'm like, Let me get my meter out or something because I don't know. I guess she wants to talk to you guys or something.
Okay, Jackie, show up and light up the meter. It's right in front of
Now
Grizzly's face. Come on,
yeah,
Jackie.
if y'all start doing
Please.
that. Yeah. Usually I have my ghost balls taped to my mic stand so y'all can see them. I did turn it on, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Okay. Just want to make sure.
Yeah, the red LED is
we
lit.
should have got ours.
Yeah.
So
it's down. Well, next time.
Now, are you not going to do anything now?
That's
interesting. No, here it comes.
But it's behind you. It's not in front of you.
Yeah, it is. It's like behind me.
There it is. It strobed up 3 LEDs.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? It moved.
Yep. It lit up to green.
Oh, it is moving. Did you see it?
Oh, yeah. Dude, I see it moving.
Dude, okay, when I get excited, I say, dude, our art studio camera just went off when that went off, and it shouldn't have gone off.
No, because really? it's not enabled, but it went off anyway.
Something went past it. Huh.
Wow. So I'm like trying to adjust all different kinds of lights in my studio, and it's not working. Because it's not my studio lights it's causing. It's actually energies, ladies and gentlemen. And so I don't know what's going on. But for some reason with her and him, it's always them. Because I got filters on lights and stuff in the studio. I got a light above me, a small fluorescent light above me. That just never cause any. It's just only, I don't know. Yeah, you saw an orb. Yeah, you actually will see a lot of them standing stones on their end. Very interesting. And you actually will see a fairy from time to time with wings and legs, ladies and gentlemen, flying. And
our first show we had
manifesting.
Our first show we had the fairy 3 times?
Yes. So I don't know. It's weird.
Odd. I can't explain it. But they certainly do love her energy.
Yes, they do. They really do.
And mine's not so negative, it scares them off. So there you go.
So with all the orbs and activity you will have, I mean, it's amazing because you actually have them, make noises on your cameras outside and everything. Like, and talking. And I just got touched on my shoulder. So here we go. Hey, Terry, welcome to the show. So, but it's interesting what you all have, though.
Ooh, it's so we had gotten in a kind of a habit of not listening to the audio. We just kept it muted, and then she had this intuition. She started listening to the audio, and we would see these things come down. And I says, that looked like an orb, but could have been a bug. Till you hear the thump that goes into the door. And then we had this orb which did this business, a big U, and at the bottom of the big U, it went, hi.
Yeah, right. Right.
Oh,
now, ladies and gentlemen, debunks that. So, yes.
Then we had the big orb come down from up above on a diagonal across the screen and land on the deck. And then get really, really bright to the point it overloaded the camera and then dimmed down slightly. And it was a energy being, completely humanoid, but energy. And it reached up and grabbed the camera and turned it and then dimmed down and took off up where it came from. I mean, it was a beam down, move the camera with an energy being, turn into an orb and beam back up in 15 seconds. It was an amazing video.
Yeah. Now, I've actually seen somebody else, I don't know, was it on another show, had a picture, and they're like, what is this? And I'm like, that's an energy beam. They're like, how do you know? And I was like, it looked like a small figure, but it was a light. It was a lighted beam. And it's an energy beam. And it was probably about 4, I just felt that, for it lit up. And I was like, and I just had an orb fly in front of my computer. I don't know why. It's something with you guys, because very seldom do I have this much activity within a short span. But anyways, they had an energy, and they're like, I had no idea. We thought it was like a flashlight or a light. And
see her keep looking up. Something's touching her.
Sorry,
something keeps touching her.
See, I got touched a minute ago. So yeah. No, I don't. Yeah, as long as they don't rub my forehead like they did in that one show, I'm all right. Because that's what I had.
God.
Like, ooh, and I felt the fingers. Now about came. If I didn't have handlebars in my chair, you know, to hold me in, I would have been on the floor. I mean, I about literally fainted.
Yep. I saw something go. Yeah, it did move before it lit up that time.
Yes, I saw an orb and then it lit up.
Mm.
So we had an interesting weekend. She saw a bunch of stuff on the videos. So it's what will you go ahead and tell it? You found them all. I've analyzed them later, and there's nothing to explain any of those things.
Okay, so every few months a new being comes around, and this time it's always in like a formation. They look like orbs, and then sideways they're longer, but it's it's 2 orbs space 1 orb space 4, then 1, then 2 again, and it's the same way every night. And they fly all around, do this neat stuff. They never leave each other's side, and they're really bright. And at first a lot of people were like, oh, it's cobwebs, and I'm like, no, it's not. It's really not. So I said, can you guys move in a way that will show you're not cobwebs? Right. And they've been doing it. They keep coming back.
If that's a spider web, it is the most tangled up mess by now you can ever see, with all the machinations they were doing up in the air, and they never came out of formation.
And we clean the area so that there aren't any.
Yeah, I go out there with a broom every night and clean the cobwebs all the way around the camera. Yep. So it's just goofy.
Oh my God. And a purple.
Oh my goodness.
It was a craft that came during the day. It appeared for 1 split second.
1 frame.
Disappeared, and part of it had purple.
And it was fuzzy because you could see this energy field all around. You could just make out the craft, but it had an energy field all around it, and part of it was purple, and it has a light on the stem below it and a light on the stem above it.
And we have another craft that came a couple months ago, different shaped, but that also has an energy ball right by it connected to the craft.
Yeah.
So whatever this ball is, a lot of them have it.
And so she's been seeing this entity fly inside in front of our cameras, and now that has bothered to come inside, and she calls it napkin. So I'm sitting there watching Zach Bagans in his Flagstaff, Arizona show that he just released, and right there in front of us on that camera, her napkin flew right in front of him, and they played it over and over again. So I don't have any clue what this is, but if she and Zach Vegas can both have it, they've got something in common. It is identical to what was on Zach Vegas' camera, and they were in a hotel.
No.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. Now, when I have poltergeist activity in the studio and stuff during the live shows, I flip out. I mean,
I used to too. Yeah,
but we're kind of gotten over it.
But
they're not doing anything to harm us.
I was cool as a cucumber. I was always cool. I never lost my cool. But when it comes to stuff like that, I just flip out. Now, when things were be flying and tossed and thrown at me, I mean, when I say I have to take things down in my studio, I do on other shows because they would literally toss them, and that's why I got different cameras, and I've got these different. You can see things on arms and mechanical arms so they're not thrown or knocked over. And for some reason, I'm told to get a ghost ball out or a cat ball. I don't know why.
And that's from the dolls activity?
Yes. Okay. So let me get that over here. And I
was going to say the in this hotel, when all this stuff started happening on Zach's camera, he had ghost balls all over, and they knocked over brooms and rolled the balls around.
Yeah, see, I couldn't. No.
Ghost balls out.
From the ghost equipment company.
These are actually cat balls, and you can get them anywhere.
Yeah, if they roll them, they light up.
Yeah, so I buy them by the box, and they're little balls. And once you activate them, once they are touched or moved or anything, once it shuts off.
I like it.
And
So you see the one on his microphone stand timed out.
now once
That's
you move it,
awesome.
see how you moved it? It
Okay.
activates.
So if you got it sitting still and suddenly lights up, that means the ghost moved it.
We gotta
That
get
is correct. And
Yeah, we'll get
on certain shows, I'll have these around my dolls or on my mic stand,
Mhm.
and we'll have conversations, and they'll just light up, and people will ask questions, and they'll light up, and I'm like, all right, that's enough. And I used to do my spirit box, and record on TikTok. And if you don't know what a spirit box are, ladies and gentlemen, it's ones that scans the frequencies that.
Yeah.
And I asked somebody, I'm like, hey, go on my TikTok channel and tell me what's going on. They're like, you're not gonna believe this. I'm like, what? It's saying your name. And I'm like, oh, get out of here. I'm like, it is not. They're like, no. And they're like, go look. And I'm like, all right. So I opened up the studio and I kept saying Grizzly, and it kept saying non-human, non-human, non-human. I'm like, there ain't no way. So I quit using the spirit box. So see.
Well, I have a spirit box, I have the SP7, and I have the Para 4CE, so it does a whole lot better with the audio. And we have the Ghost stick camera, but I wanted to get the Ovilus, and it didn't dawn on me that I could use the Ovilus for this experiment we want to do. So we want to do. We'll answer that in just a second. Don't let it go away, because I don't want to forget it. So what we're going to do is, when we talk to these entities with Jimmy Blanchett's radio thing, and they respond, we'll record the light, have her get her intuition, and have the Ovilus and the spirit box all running, so we can see if we can get a translation and then put it into the computer and build a two-way communication system. So we're trying to build a two-way communication system with the other side.
You know what? I think you're gonna achieve that. I really
because
do.
I'm a hard-headed guy. I don't ever give up.
Thank you.
That's right. That's right. So I do. I think is it plausible and possible? Yes, I really do.
I think so.
You know, because I mean, if you can use a digital recorder and ask questions and get intelligent responses, yes, I think it's physical, possible. And one thing I try to tell people, you got to take science out of things, because mathematics is not going to always explain scientifically what we want to understand in the realm of the paranormal realm. It's just impossible. So there it goes again. See, I told you. This will go on nonstop. I don't know what it is with you guys, but and I'll have these around all the studio, especially with the dolls. I have other cameras I have on the dolls during the other show. So, but yeah, they're inexpensive. I mean, you can buy them like 6, 9, 18, 15 at a time.
Yeah, we'll get them. We'll definitely get them. That and the Ovilus. I want to get the latest Ovilus. Mm-hmm. So it's something in the ambient environment causes a signal to go into a little computer, and the computer looks into a dictionary and pulls out the word and puts it on the screen, and then speaks it. So I know that we can use that.
To that one guy that asked the question, Standing Stones.
Yes, Standing Stones asked the question.
We get all of our crafts and paranormal stuff in our backyard and in our home. We don't go anywhere.
And we don't have to go anywhere. We're lazy.
There's a portal. See, they agree. There's a portal, and you can see the videos and pictures on our Facebook, Lala Bright, or his. They're free to the public. And we have a portal outside our house and one inside our house, and we have video of the portal opening up and shooting a light out of it. So,
yep, portal inside the house and portal outside the house. And now the activity over the activity over the neighbor's house is kicked up again. We had a bunch of weird stuff last night.
What is it?
And these videos are authentic, people. These are not fabricated or AIG, CIG, or whatever you want to say. They're not that. Yeah,
they're not CGI.
Right. So absolutely.
You're welcome.
So it is wild. I mean, the first time I had them on the show, I couldn't let them talk. I was like, "Did you see that? Did you see that?" They're like, I felt so bad ladies and gentlemen, as I kept interrupting them, I just had to start doing the whip because
we had orbs and fairies, orbs and fairies right in front of us.
Yeah, and they're like, "It's normal." I'm like, "It's not normal." They're like, "Yeah, it is." They're just excited. I'm like, "I'm excited too. Can't you tell?" You know. And Barb was like, "I know." So, and I was just sitting there going, and people were just laughing, and I was like, and they were flying in front of the camera, they were flying behind you, in front of you. And ladies and gentlemen, I know a difference between moisture in the air, water droplets, humidity. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. I know the difference between all that. I've been around that stuff. But these things, I know, right? See? And this is going to happen during the whole show, I promise you. And once you get these cat balls, you're going to fall in love with them. So, yes.
I like it. Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Our dog will like it too.
Mm-hmm.
So I was talking to this one to this one person, and I fell asleep on FaceTime. We was talking about the paranormal, and I got my REM pod out, and I don't use it much in the studio because it won't shut up because it makes a bunch of noises, right, with the antenna and the lights up. So I put it on the end of my chase in the studio, and evidently I fell asleep. And in the middle of the night, the thing woke me up, and it scared the living daylights out of me, and I fell off the chase and hit my head on the filing cabinet.
Oh no,
And man! And I was sitting there, I was like, "All right, you got me. I'm awake. Do it again. You know, make it go off." And I sat there 45 minutes, nothing happened. I'm like, "Really?" I'm like, "You don't woke me up out of a solid sleep, right? Now, come on, what's going on?" And I sat there. I was like, "Lala and Bob, you ain't gonna believe it." But you know what? It went off.
We're seeing energy all over your face.
Yes, I feel it. I feel it.
Yeah, it's lighting you up right now.
Yeah, I feel it. What happened is I rode over, my foot landed on top of the REM pod. That's what made it went off. Yeah. Scared the living daylights out of me. So it took me 45 minutes to debunk that. But if you would have saw me trying to talk to it and make it go off again, it was awful.
Well, you entertained them the whole time, so that's good. You know.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. So, yeah.
I've noticed the light behind you stopped when you put the ghost ball up.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
it's something else for it to entertain. Yes.
Right.
Yes. That's why I said
that is correct. It moved to the ghost ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just interesting. Neither one of us have felt any fear from any of this since the earliest days. We were a little worried, and then we got really, really connected. Spiritual people tell us, "There you go, lighten up." There's spiritual people telling us that we had nothing to worry about, that we were surrounded by guardians, and basically nothing was going to bother us. Just let go and have fun and get something done.
Well, that's the way you got to be. So yeah. So you're right. That's the only way you can be, actually. Mm-hmm. So I still am afraid of it, because it's the unknown, right? But you do have to get over it, though. You're right. But the touching part, that's the part. It's like
it takes some getting used to.
Yeah, it does.
My mother loves to touch me. She used to touch me on the shoulder and tell me, "You're going to be all right." And when I need it, I feel her touching me on my shoulder, and I know she's telling me I'm going to be all right. Yep. And she talks to her all the time.
Yep. She gives me pointers on how to handle him.
That's neat. I like that.
My mother was tough, and she always seems to like whoever I'm with more than me because she's always helping them out.
That's cute. I like that. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back after this commercial. Stand by. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Grizzly's Out on the Hunt. We got Lala and Bob.
Except
This
Lala's
edition,
astral projected right now.
that's right. We got another edition brought to you by Western Bigfoot and Paranormal Investigations, LLC, by Mr. Don Wyden. Thank you very much, sir. Greatly appreciate you bringing this edition to our channel and everybody else's channel. Also want to thank all the admins and moderators for letting us go live in your all's Facebook groups. Greatly appreciate it. Much love. That was funny. You know, I was trying to say that without laughing, but I couldn't do it when you said that. That was funny. So, yeah. But no, ladies and gentlemen, check them out. Aren't you making other things too? I think the last show that you were on, you were talking about making some items and some things you were selling.
I make orgonite.
Look at this orgonite she made.
So I make custom orgonite, and
Let me blow you up here. There we go. Well, that didn't work. Let me hit another button. There we go. Now we'll switch you. There we go.
Anyway, she just made this. Here, you tell them how you do it.
Each layer has different crystals. So I put, maybe 6 or 7. And at the tip, there is a copper coil with a quartz. And it's good for healing. It's good for plants. It's good for EMF.
Well, let me tell a story. Yeah. So we have these raised beds on our deck. So we had a plant out there, and we thought we don't know what we were going to do with it. So it was on the table, and that thing was brown dead. It was a hyacinth. Mm-hmm. She put that orgonite next to it, and the next morning when we got up, it was green and bloomed.
It was weird. I mean,
in one day.
It's great, but it was really weird.
This orgonite stuff, I am now convinced.
Well, the creator of orgonite got arrested for transporting it over state lines, and he died in prison because it helps. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I'm all into the crystals and stuff. I mean, I'm a firm believer in that.
So if anybody needs certain healing, I can create different stones for different healing, or I just make them. Make different ones for fun. I mean, it's helpful.
Yeah, they do work. They really do. And once again, you can find them on LalaBrightLLC.com, right?
Yes.
So you definitely, ladies and gentlemen, make sure and check out the website. Very interesting. And you can also find the videos and everything else and pictures out there as well. I think you all sent me some pictures too, didn't you?
Or somebody did? Did we send them today? I don't think we did, but you can. You send them.
I can send them while you guys are talking.
She can send them right now. She's got them aimed and ready to fire in every possible direction. I
got to make you an orgonite pyramid so you can put it by the dolls.
Yes, that's what we want to do, is get you an energy orgonite right next to it.
Well, at least my hair can't fall out. I don't know, maybe my beard can fall out, but let's see here.
I'm telling you, that angelic light on you is really starting to get interesting.
Yeah, it really is. My forehead's starting to really warming up. Let's see here. Now I've got one that's a video. It looks like a UFO in the sky.
Probably is.
All right, let me share this, ladies and gentlemen. Let me hit here, present, share screen, and let's see here. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I sent them the new one.
Oh yeah, that okay. There you go. That is one single frame of a video. Okay, and when that single frame, you see this thing, and you can see the craft inside the blur. And I ran it through an artificial intelligence program that deblurs and other stuff. And you look up above it and right below it, and you'll see 2 bright light, looks like light bulbs on stands. That's not a bug. Yeah. So and on the upper part of it, away from those light bulbs on stands, it's purple. So that is an energy aura around a craft that flew right in front of our house. And we're over that house. We're seeing craft pretty regularly, and they're always close on that side of the house.
That is interesting, yeah.
but it's one frame. And in that frame, you can resolve. There you go. You can see the purple. You can see the light above it resolved on a stand and the light below it resolved.
Yeah, light bulbs.
And that field all around it is whatever the energy field is that's transporting it.
But so that purple was there. I just made it more vibrant. It was a little more duller, but I've never seen anything with the color at all. Usually it's just metallic.
Yep.
But somebody sent me that.
Yeah, somebody did an edge detection algorithm on it, and you can see the shape of the craft inside it and the two stems with the lights on them. You can see the elbow beneath the craft with a bulb on it, and then you can see the thing above it. And those are real. Those are real. They are not artifacts. Just really interesting.
That's wild.
Or that one, so that's a different craft that showed up in her backyard, but that has the same energy ball on the bottom and something holding it that the new craft has too. So there's something with this energy ball. That
and this one showed up 3 weeks apart from this night, but it was rotated 90 degrees.
I'll have to send that one.
Yeah, she's going to send it to you so you can show. I know if you look, this is not the good one, but right above it, you'll see that little ball right above it near the top. Keep going right there. No other way, toward the other edge.
I cut it off.
Toward the other edge. Keep going right there. That little ball. If you had the whole thing, you would see that's a triangle with the 3 lights in the corners.
I sent you one more just now of that craft at a different angle.
Okay. And triangle is, I don't know why this thing seems to love to have a triangle with it wherever it goes.
But they never really show up during the day, so that was really interesting.
And she just sent you that one. Yeah.
That's the same craft that you just saw. Just a different night, different angle.
And it was 3 weeks apart, and that's the same craft rotated 90 degrees.
And this thing was up in the stars, so it's probably as big as like a little town or something.
Yeah, so
what?
Oh yeah, no. So the flashes occur in the sky, and then between the flashes that we see on the video, she goes frame by frame until she sees this craft, and then we know from other things that we can talk about later that it's a long way away. Now, the thing you can see on one of them is that part of the craft is illuminated. It's illuminated by the sun, and the sun had, when that thing was taken, our side of the earth was in shadow, so it has to be way above the earth to have the sun illuminating it. So we can get that it's at least 100 kilometers up, and that means that thing, which has not a blur, it's mostly resolved, that thing is huge. It might be a mile across. It's huge. So let me tell you one more story about it, because it just lends credence. I went to a MUFON meeting with a friend of mine, and we sat with the deputy director of the United States Space Force. And we were showing him our UFO pictures, and I brought that one up, and he immediately blanched and turned colors. He got his pens out. He wrote down his private email address, told me to send it to him, and both of us were looking at his face. We thought he was going to lose his lunch right there. He was really excited to get that picture. The deputy director of the Space Force, excited to get my stinking UFO picture. It was something else. Wow. So I know it's a real craft, and it's way up there.
Now, Leanna's asking, sometimes crystals that she knows, some of them, a couple of them cannot get along. I don't know. What do you think, guys? What do you think about that? Yeah,
I've never heard that they can't get along. I've heard that it can overwhelm certain people where it's uncomfortable. So if you walk into a New Age store and you get a headache, or you start sweating, or you just want to leave, it's just overwhelming. It's too much.
Like some people, they'll get Moldavite, which is this meteorite gemstone that comes from Czechoslovakia. And you can get it. They're usually expensive, but you can get it. And sometimes some people can't wear it all the time. They have to slowly break themselves into it, or it'll overwhelm them. She put on a gigantic piece of it and just walked around like it was a nothing burger.
You know what would be good to have is a rose quartz under your pillow.
Yeah.
It'll help your dreams. It'll help lots of romantic situations and emotions, and it's gentle, but it works. So
there's lots of research been done on what is helpful health wise, what is helpful protection wise, and we just have 4 bags of those stones around us all the time.
Because a big part of it is frequency.
Yeah.
Oh, the color holds frequency. Everything holds frequency, and our body is frequency. So sometimes if we need a certain frequency, that'll help you'll feel better.
And just to let everybody know, that's not mumbo jumbo, because all the biochemical processes that happen in our body are quantum mechanical, and quantum mechanical is all described by the frequency, which relates to the energy of every particle in our body. So this is not mumbo jumbo. This is science.
All right, I threw up another picture.
And so she's got a couple of these. So this has got this big old hole in it, and later we have it from a different angle where the hole is completely resolved.
Yeah, that's the side of a craft above our house, and it came back a different night, and I sent you that one. It's got the hole in it. It's light on the top, dark on the bottom. So I talk to them, and sometimes it happens right away. Sometimes it takes a couple weeks or months, but they show up, and I say, I want to learn about you. I'd like to know everything about you as much as I can safely. And they do that.
No, so let me talk to this. The top of this craft, this is so big. The top of this craft is clearly illuminated by the sun, because this is taken at night. The bottom of the craft gets slowly darker as you go down. So you're going sun, umbra, down into the darkness. You've seen this on NASA videos where the capsules go in and out of the sun. So this thing is huge. For it to be lit at the top and dark at the bottom, it's just huge. And it's got to be way above the earth to have any part of it in the sun, because this is the middle of the night here.
Wow.
I'm sending the portal one too. But I sent the other angle of that one.
Yeah, she'll just keep sending this stuff till you throw us off here, Grizzly, because it's exciting. We love it. We just hope we don't bore your audience.
Oh, I sent it's a paranormal one of an orb going past, and it says, "Hi." I sent that to you just now, so they'll like that.
Yeah, this is the high one. Yeah,
it's because when I first asked them to talk, it sounded like radio frequencies, and then I said, "Could you clear it up?" It sounded like a deep guttural language I didn't know. And I said, "Look, I just don't understand." So it went, "Hi." It dumbed it down for me. I was like, "Okay, I get it. Thank you." I'm trying to find the one orb one. Here's
way here.
And I'll just send one more video of the orbs, me telling them to move.
Yeah. Yeah, her commanding the orbs to move, and you see them move in the direction she commands them. That's always pretty good.
I just sent one more video, and then I won't bother with you. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. What's this one right here?
The one we got on the screen, it's the craft one. We haven't seen an update.
Let me let's see here. Go back to Facebook. Let me bring them up in order here.
There you go.
And this way I can see what. All right. Here we go. Now let me make sure I hit the audio on here. There we go. Now audio.
And turn it up, please, so everybody can hear it.
It's thinking.
little bit of internet spin.
That's weird.
Oh, my ear just something's here.
Yeah. Did it
I
ring?
heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, something keeps buzzing us and messing with
It's
us.
different. I don't know what it is.
Well, it could be our friends coming to buzz you.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it is.
Yeah, so the one above
One above it.
is high, and then the other one's me telling the orbs to go a certain direction.
But the one above, if you'll play it and turn the speaker on, you can hear it say hi right at the bottom.
It's a female voice.
It says hi.
All right, let me get out of this one. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Let me go back into my Facebook. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen.
That's all right, it's live.
I got so many different buttons on right now. And it says, oh, yeah, I see the video. It says hi now. Okay. Now let me hit share screen.
And enable the audio if you have to.
Yes, I do. Okay, here we go. Can y'all hear that?
No.
All right, let me stop sharing. Make sure I hit the audio again. Maybe I didn't hear the share your system audio. Is it saying hi? I can hear it. Well, I got headphones on though.
Oh, I heard it. It was low, but I heard it.
Yeah, that's max all the way I got. It's saying hi.
Yep. I could just barely hear it.
Well, so it's open to the public. You don't have to be Facebook friends. Anybody can click on it
And hear
and
it.
hear it. Yeah.
And right at the bottom, it goes, hi.
Mm-hmm.
It does. It says hi. That's wild.
Yep.
That is. That's wild.
Can you do the orb video real quick in the bedroom, please?
Yes. That's pretty spectacular.
That's a newer one. Last week, maybe?
Yeah.
That was the one where you're pointing up in the air and everything?
Yeah, I talked. So those are spirits. Some are, interdimensional or extra, whatever people like to call it. But most of them are spirits.
Let's see here. I got my audio.
Yeah, I heard.
Turn the audio on.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You don't need audio. It's okay.
See them go off in that direction?
There they go.
Yep.
She told them to go off in that direction, and they went off in that direction. This is like every day.
And when we go away to travel and we come back, there's a bunch of them. It's almost like they're excited we're back. It's really sweet. It's comfort. I love them. So I like the blinking ones the best.
And they take a second and they pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
Yep.
Now sometimes there's only a few.
We have one on the. Let me say we had one on the deck where she said go up and they went up, go down they went down, go right they went to the right. It was pretty amazing. Mm-hmm. We'll have to give that one to you sooner or later. We'll dig it up.
That's wild. Yeah, so y'all just get used to this. It's like, no big deal. You're right. Yeah, just normal everyday life, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I mean, she's been dealing with this since she was an infant.
Mm-hmm.
She's just used to it.
I used to be terrified, literally terrified. And Now, well, it's comforting to know that my parents are on the other side, and I know my mom would kick ass if anybody tried to do something. So that's comforting. So it's
Right, right. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, it
Well,
is.
I mean, this is not me tooting my own horn. It's just a fact. Has somebody with, who had a reputation as a scientist or whatever, businessman and all that stuff. And I was taking her seriously and not making fun of her. That really does change your outlook.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does, because a lot of people don't understand the paranormal realm, or whether it's the spiritual or the cryptid or whatnot. A lot of people don't understand it. They want to taint you and make fun of you and belittle you and call you all kinds of weird names. And I just want to point out something, since we acknowledge the energy on both sides. Have you noticed it calmed down?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, we noticed that you're not having any more lights and the ball's not
No.
going.
Right. Yeah.
They got across whatever they wanted to get across, and that's it. They're done with us for the day.
Yeah. Right. So I'm not getting any static electricity. I'm not being touched. So, it is. And a lot of people don't understand that. And we talked about this on another show with Barb, a lot of people with abilities, and that's why I wanted her to be in the book, because a lot of people don't understand what people go through. Right. And it's very important to get that message out, because, a lot of people are like, oh, and there's somebody, I can't remember which one, that just got debunked. The psychic that's on TV got caught being a fake. And all these years, in all these years, she was supposed to be this bigwig, and she got caught recently. And it's just like, well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen, and but it was all a setup, and they found out, and they exposed her, and
Please don't tell me it was the Long Island medium.
I'm not going to say which one. It's going to break people's hearts, but it just goes to show. And when people come to me, I tell them, and I tell them who to go to that I recommend, and I also say recommend or go to people that who has used people in the past. Use them as referrals, because that way that they are the true ones that have the abilities. That way you're not going out there, because I have one person who's like, oh, I know somebody in California and they just took my money. Well, you don't know them, because if you know them, then you would have never talked to them and they would have never took your money, right? So, but there's a lot of things, and we go on and on about that on another show, but it's sad that there are people like that are out there, and it really is.
So I paid a person to give me a reading, and the person gave me the reading, and they were really wowing me about getting all the stuff that I had not brought up, but it also was not answering any of the questions I had. So the person had clearly looked up everything they could look up in a newspaper all about me, and were using stuff they had found in newspaper articles. I could even go to the newspaper articles and tell you where they got them and what they were about, like obituaries and stuff like that. I was upset with myself and haven't spoken to them again.
And so I got a reading after that because, I can read other people, but because my emotions get in the way, I have a hard time reading for myself, and because I miss my family, you know what I mean? So I got a reading, but Lala Bright's not my real name. Now, my parents always called me Lala, but it's really Laura, and that's not my last name, Bright. It's my business name. And he didn't get anything right.
Because there's no Lala Bright to be found in newspapers.
Right.
Or any legal records.
I was so mad.
Oh, yeah, he got nothing right. So, I mean, we exposed that person completely to ourselves. We've left him alone. We've not told anybody, but he's a complete fraud.
You should never prey on, people are so vulnerable in that situation when they miss someone or they need guidance, and it breaks their heart, and it's just horrible. People shouldn't do that. Just be careful. Yeah. You're right. Be careful who you go to.
You do. Now, Tammy Johnson All the orbs, are they family members from the past?
Some of them,
No,
yes.
not
Not
all
all.
of them. We have all sorts of entities that show up in orb form. We had orbs show up on the outside cameras, and they would fly by, and you could see alien faces in them. I mean, no, there are all sorts of things.
They're a mixture. But there is a portal above our bed that they come out of. So when there's a portal, all different types come in and out, which is interesting. You know, it's definitely. I prefer the extreme the entities outside, and so I can only handle so much inside. You know what I mean? I do want to sleep eventually, so.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Angel, I know I can tell. LOL. I tell them straight out on Facebook where to go. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good.
I like the ones like, oh, your family member has a message for you. I'm like, really? Okay, it's nice. So yeah.
I watch her do those things, and it's so different from what these fake ones do.
Yeah.
I mean, so she doesn't want to be told anything, but she does want a picture. So she reads the picture. She doesn't want to be told anything, and she'll just start talking. And you can see that she's slowly making a connection, and to watch the reaction on the other side as the connection gets fully made, and then it turns into a torrent. It's pretty amazing to see the difference in a real one and a fake.
Yeah, if they're just saying basic things like they love you. I mean, yes, they're saying they love you, but there should be validating facts that only you know.
And that happened to me multiple times in my first reading. She told me things my mother said that only my mother and I knew. She told me things my mother said that I didn't know, my brothers didn't know, but we could go to family members and find out they were true. Then my grandmother walked up. She kept saying her name to her. She didn't understand what it was, but she told me this little woman keeps saying the word Tweety, and that was the name I had for my grandmother, who had died 25 years before. You can tell the real ones from the fake if you exercise critical thinking.
It's easier for me to read certain people if the spirits are more gung-ho about it. Some spirits are very like, here's what you got to look at. I'm going to put it on your phone accidentally so you find it. And this is what you got to tell them. It's just an easy ride for me. Sometimes I have to really pull it out of them when they're a little more standoffish. But I did a reading for someone, and the day before, I put my phone down, I walked away, I come back, and there is an article about breast cancer. I didn't look it up, and I thought, okay, that's a little odd. And then the next day comes, I do the reading, and she keeps saying breast cancer. And, you know, that's sensitive. Cancer is a sensitive topic. So I kind of tiptoed and I told him, and he goes, yes, she passed from breast cancer. And so that was her the day before helping me so that I could give him validations so he knew she was with him.
I saw her give a reading where it was a person whose family had passed, and they had been through it, through a pretty rough time with the family, but she did not offer any of that, and she got it all. She got every bit of it. I mean, just the woman was bawling at the end of the reading. Yeah, it's just pretty amazing to watch a real one work.
I know. I go to him like, I made her cry. I feel bad. He's like, that's a good thing. You know,
they're needing release. You've given them validation. They know their loved one is on the other side and still cares.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and if you tell somebody they better go to the doctor, she told me I had to go to the doctor, and I ignored her for months. Mm-hmm. And I went to the doctor, and I had skin cancer on my leg, and they removed it. I mean, the real ones, you can tell.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I've got, like Lala knows, I've got quite a few on my board, a panel that I use for the cold cases. And I have some that I have personally have connections with me. And Lala knows, and because she's reached out and be like, are you okay? And I'm like, damn it. I hate when y'all do that. So I had one that has been trying to get a hold of me, and every time she gets a hold of me, I'm so tied up. I'm like, I'll call you right back, and hours go by. And she just kept blowing up my phone today. She's like, you got to call me. And I'm like, okay, I'm calling you right now. I'll stop everything what I'm doing. And she's like, look, this guy will not leave me alone. And she's like, who is this guy's name? And I'm like, hell if I know. She's like, well, I got to tell you. And once and she says, now he's gone. Now I can be at ease. And I'm like, is that it? She's like, yeah, I just had to tell you this guy's name. And I don't know why, but now since I told you, now I'm at ease. Now the guy left me alone. He's gone. But he would not leave me for 4 days because you would not answer my call. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry. Every time, then it got too late and I forgot. And I don't know who this guy is.
My grandmother followed her around, sat in the front seat with the car with her for days. And finally she got satisfied and left.
I've never gotten a side eye from a spirit. She's the first one to go,
That's my grandmother. I knew she was talking to her because my grandmother was tough.
She's a little short thing.
So the short thing, she was tough and feisty.
That was funny. It was weird, but it was
amazing.
Funny.
It's amazing. Well, I am so thankful that you all came on the show. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it.
We have fun every time we do it, Grizzly. It's fun.
Yeah, it's wild because, like I said, you got to get the ghost balls, or they're called cat balls. We call them ghost balls, but they are the afterlife, the people with energies that's crossed over. They love them. You can tell. Just to make sure it's still turned on. Okay. I had to replace all mine. Mine had the little levers on the outside. And I had to get them replaced where they were recessed in because my mic's so sensitive. We'll be talking, you'll hear it go. And I'm like, really? You just turned them off? So I had to get them where you have to actually push them in, with your finger. Yes. So, and the reason, once again, I have to tape them because if not, they would be launched. They would hit me in the forehead or they would hit me in the, live on the air.
Wow.
And they would all be on cameras when this happened. So, yes, it was embarrassing.
Yeah.
That's probably probably not a great thing. It's the dolls that do it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, look, I'm telling you, listen to me, Grizzly. She's been driving me crazy to bug you about getting rid of those dolls.
We're going to have intervention.
So
she wants to have an intervention.
Liana King wants to know, do you offer personal readings?
Yeah, will you put our picture back up so she can copy down the website? There you go. Right below our name is the website.
Lala Bright
I will do that. There you go.
And it's mediumship, but it's also if you've had experiences with other beings or aliens. Some people have, and I can touch on that, and it's validating to the person because a lot of people feel crazy for thinking they had those experiences. It's a hard thing to kind of come to terms with when you've had experiences that aren't normal. So I help with that too.
And one more personal testimonial. I've seen her come out of a reading and tell me to refund them the money because she didn't feel like she did a horrible job and to offer them a free reading.
They didn't complain. I was just sad that I didn't do as good. I'm really hard on myself.
She really is.
I want to be like extraordinary.
Yeah, she wants to read the testimonial of their Akashic record from their birth till their death and beyond.
But none of them accepted the refund. They were like, it was fine. So whatever. It's fine.
Well, and ladies and gentlemen know when they're Grizzly approved, they're Grizzly approved. So I just don't have any Harry, Mary, and Jane on the show, or on the panel. So that speaks words right there.
Thank you. By the way, when I join your show Friday, was it on the 30th, right?
Yeah, this coming Friday.
I'll be face painting at a festival and doing the show.
Oh, wow.
So you might see a butterfly wreath and face glitter. So, but
that's fine. No, we'll get you right on and off. So that was me, ladies and gentlemen, on the ball. That was me. I touched the mic, so I don't want everybody.
Well, you're not up. So bring yourself back up.
Yeah.
Oh, no wonder.
Did you swat an orb from in front of your face?
Yeah.
The audience saw her move an orb from in front of her face that was bothering her.
I did it in a nice way, though.
Was that what she was doing? I was looking at the computer.
Yeah, I said,
and
is she actually swatting an orb right here in front of me? And yes.
I meant it in a good way.
That's funny.
Sorry.
But yes. But thank you all for coming on short notice and everything. And Barb and I always love having you on the show. And
we have fun here, and
Yeah.
we feel this connection. So just whenever.
Yeah, and it always will be there. Thank you all so much. You'll have a great night. And ladies and gentlemen, from coast to coast and around the world, make sure and check out LalaBrightLLC.com. Take care and Godspeed, guys. We'll see you next show. Good night. Bye.
It's a grizzly.
Should we get out of here?
No. We're gonna watch and listen.
Action.
It's a grizzly.
Oh, shit, should we run?
No.
Action.
It's a grizzly.
Oh, should we run?
Okay. It's a grizzly.
Are you sure it's not a chipmunk? Action. No, I'm out of here. Action.
It's a grizzly.
I'm out of here.
Huh. Maybe it is a chipmunk. It's a grizzly.
Are we gonna die?
I don't know. We're just gonna sit here and listen and watch.
Let's get out of here, maybe.
Fall!